The Supernatural Hour with host Bobby Luisi and guest Carter Buschardt. I've been researching Sasquatch for well over a decade. I've led expeditions into the deep forests of America. I've seen them. I've heard them. I've seen incredible physical evidence of their actual existence. I've interviewed over 200 witnesses and counting. They've told me things that defy logic, yet I hear these same claims over and over. A pattern has emerged. Possible esoteric skill sets that have to be investigated and should at least be considered by anyone calling themselves a researcher. I'm not saying you must believe, but consider that perhaps some of what you hear might actually be happening. These witnesses and the public need your open mind.
Hello, everybody, and God bless. Thank you for coming on tonight. We have an interesting guest on tonight, Carter Buschardt. He's written 5 books on the paranormal, including Sasquatch and aliens. So he got a very interesting story, and I want you to watch this with an open mind. And I'll bring him on right now. Hello, Carter. Thank you for coming on the show today. Doing pretty good. I'm a little amazed with this. I see you interviewed over 200 witnesses. You've seen Bigfoot yourself?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And all these other people have seen them? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm of the paranormal camp. First time I actually saw one, it vanished as I was looking at it through my thermal. I was leading an expedition in Missouri. So I was told and brought into this by a bunch of, I'll just say, ignorant, hateful kind of people that if you believe in anything paranormal about Sasquatch, you're an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I saw that, by the way, I was leading an expedition. I replaced the guy that told me I was an idiot for believing anything paranormal. So I got my revenge without even looking for it. But yeah, I've led 4 expeditions. The last one was in 2019. My abduction started when I was 8 years old.
Mm.
And I did not discover it until 2004.
Wow.
And so this has changed my life considerably. My voice is going in and out. Are you hearing my voice fading, or is it just...
It's not too bad. We could work with it.
Okay.
You know what I need you to tell me about one of these expeditions, kind of in detail, where you saw this first time you saw Bigfoot.
I was leading an expedition here in Missouri.
Okay.
2011, 12, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
And we split up. I let one group, a lot of coming and going here. Anyway, I let one group of about 7 people take a road right from our campsite, and they had about a mile and a half to go, and they said they knew where they were going. And so they didn't return when they should have. And we had bad radio contact because we were down in a holler. They weren't. And they got lost. They missed the turn. They couldn't hear us. We couldn't hear them. So I was watching with radio silence through my thermal. And everybody be quiet. I had about 15 people sitting where I was. I said, just be quiet, because I can't see or hear anything. I've got to watch for the thermal heat signature of the group through all the forest, and it was really hard to see. So eventually I see a heat signature. I said, okay, guys, I think we found them. I think they're here. And so I was waiting for them to come around the corner. Well, it wasn't them. It was a Sasquatch.
Wow.
And I saw it on the heat signature. I was the only one looking through a thermal camera at the time. Not many people had one at that time anyway. And it realized we were there because I gasped when I saw it. And it heard that. And it took one step. The second step it took, it just clicked off like a flashbulb. It just went off. It was gone. I could barely see. It was like somebody did shine a flashlight or a flashbulb in my face. I couldn't see. It was like it spots in front of my eyes, and I was looking at it, and I was going, "Oh my God!" And so that was my first introduction to a Sasquatch. You know, besides all the stuff I've read and seen, and the Patterson-Gimlin and all that kind of stuff. So that was the first time, and I immediately took the left fork in the road and left everybody else behind. The ignorant banter and the hatefulness of which it was used was really, you know, some of the words were just horrible. You know, if you believe in this blank, you're just a dumb blank. You know, that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
and so that's what happened. That was my aha moment.
All right. So you seen him on the thermal, and then you saw him face to face.
I've never had a face to face. That is the bizarre part. They communicate with me through my dreams on occasion. I had, when I led an expedition in Illinois in 2019, it was a mind-blowing expedition. This was during COVID. And nobody would do an expedition. One of the guys that was going to do this one in Illinois canceled because there was only 4 people left. Everybody was canceling because of COVID. He said, I'm not going to go do an expedition for 4 people. And so Caroline with BFRO called me up. She's no pal. She handles all the bookings. And she said, would you do an expedition in Illinois? This guy just left us hanging and he didn't want to do it. And I said, sure, because I have a buddy, a good friend of mine in Harold, Benny, lives in Illinois, and he is a great gentleman. He's a really good guy. And so he was going to be my assistant there. You know, he was going to handle, you know, just help me out with logistics. So the thing that was mostly unique about this was that when I scout for expeditions, I go to the mom and pop restaurants in all the small towns. I go to the overall crowd and I say, hey, where's a good place that I can go look for Sasquatch? And after all the chuckling and laughing subsides, you know, yeah, right, buddy. You know, this one place in Murfreesboro, they said, well, I'll tell you a place you do not want to go, especially after dark. And that's by the old water plant. If someone tells you to go down, you don't want to go down there. That is, nobody, no man, woman, or child in town will go down there after dark.
Yeah.
I said, well, that's where I'm going because you can't tell me that and tell me just to stay away from it. That's like, you know, scratching an itch. So, long story, we only had 4 people, myself, Harold, and 4 expedition goers. We had a lot of footprints. They all got casts, a lot of structures, a lot of noises. We camped about 12 miles away from where I was leading the expedition. We camped in a separate place. It was the Trail of Tears campsite. Well, the place I picked, unbeknownst to me, was where 94 Native Americans died during the forced march from the Carolinas to the West Coast, California or Arizona, wherever they were sending them. So 94 people died in this one spot that I used as my base camp. And it was very creepy. It was very, you knew something was watching you, but we could never see them. They never communicated. They huffed and puffed and they threw sticks and rocks at us and we threw them back and we did a couple of calls, but you could just hear them following us down this ravine. It was about a 15 or 20-foot deep ravine where the waters had come through and washed all these bodies out from where they died, the 94 Native Americans. And so the we could hear them, but they would not communicate. They would not do any, knocks or calls or anything. They were just watching us. It was the creepiest thing, but we had great activity as far as evidence, as far as footprints, a couple of handprints, but a lot of footprints, structures, great stuff. Everybody had a great time. They had all my 4 people had footprints they could take back with them to wherever they came from. So that was Friday night. We were out there all day Friday, went back to camp at 8, came back Friday, had a night there. We went back that night, and then we came back during the day Saturday to get all the tracks that we had cast, because I left them overnight so they could cure. And so we got all our prints and everything, went back to camp, had dinner, came back about 5 o'clock when it was getting dark. It was just October, so it was already getting dark, and it was COVID. There's nobody out, so we didn't have to worry about it. There was just no track, nobody. It was COVID. If you go outside and breathe, you're going to die. So, you remember that. So we go back, and I say, Harold, I'm going to leave my camera, my trail camera here by this log. There was a log. I'll show you here. There was a log.
Oh,
See
yeah.
that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's where I left my camera, at the base of that log. And we sat there every night. We just sat there because that was about the best stopping part we had. So went back the next morning, Sunday morning, to drive back to Kansas City to get my camera. And when I got to the area, those rocks were not there the night before. If you look on the very left, you'll see one round rock.
Mm-hmm.
See on the right, there's 5 rocks. The one round rock was Harold, because he's had a couple of strokes, heart attacks, so he couldn't make the trek down this very hazardous, it's very jagged and rocky, and it was really dangerous for him. So he stayed in his truck, and we stayed in touch by radio. Mm-hmm. So he couldn't go. So, and the 4 people and that other rock is me, the leader. The pointy rock is the leader, and the 4 rocks behind it are the 4 expeditioners. The rock at the other side was Harold, who was there, but he wasn't there. Mm-hmm. And so I'm looking at this, and I'm going, God, what? This is weird. There's nobody out. Where did this come from? So I called Harold. I was freaking out because I said, I'm about to tell you something that you may not believe, that somebody came by last night and they left 6 rocks, which represents us. And he went bananas. And so by then I was almost in tears, kind of like I am now, because every time I tell the story, I get real emotional. So he was going, oh my God, I can't believe it. And I said, I can't hear it. I got pictures, so I'll get them to you. And so I called my wife. He said, well, what time did we leave there? I said, I was about 7:30, because remember, it was getting dark and it was cold. It was October. So we got back. So I called my wife, because I said, well, I'm on my way. It was about 350 miles from Murfreesboro, Illinois, to my house in Liberty, Missouri. So I said, I'm on my way home. I'll be here home in 5-6 hours. And I was telling her what happened, and she was going, oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. What time did that happen? I said, well, I don't really know, but we were gone from here by 7:30, because it's cold, and, there's nobody out, and there's nobody came through here. Mm-hmm. And so she said, well, about 8:30 last night, a blue orb flew into our bedroom, circled around 3 times, went into the bathroom, did a couple of loop-de-loops like it was showing off, and disappeared. That was the Sasquatch people letting me know they knew who I was. And I later ascertained or deducted they did that because we showed respect for the place where the Native Americans had passed away there. You know, Sasquatch and Native Americans, if you do any history looking, they go back hundreds and hundreds of years, centuries, with a symbiotic relationship with Sasquatch and Native Americans. So that told me right then and there that they knew who I was, and they were saying thank you or nice job or hello, whatever they were doing, but they were letting me know that they knew who I was and where I lived. What else would explain that?
Yeah.
Whether you may or may not believe in the paranormal aspects of these beings, but some of the stuff I've seen and experienced, it's only that side of them. And I've got 9 or 10 habituation properties where the people have them living on their properties.
Hmm.
Day in, day out, they see them whenever they want. They interact whenever they want. If they don't want, they don't. They don't interact. If they do, they do. And it's up, to the Sasquatch and the humans. So they feed them. They've shown them their newborns. All kinds of interactions with these people, and they live on. They've been on their property. Some of them for over a generation. And so they're my habituation properties. And I will get a call from 5 or 6 of them a year. There's more, but there's ones that are really keep me informed,
Yeah.
telling me what's going on, And so they hear their names called in the woods in their exact voice or the exact voice of their spouses. I sat on a front porch with one of my best groups and my best friends. They're very, very good friends of mine. I've been with them for a long time. On Saturday nights, they will get a case of beer and some snacks, and they'll sit on the front porch, and they'll throw sticks and twigs, little pebbles back and forth to the Sasquatch that live across the road in this big old wood stand. And they're on about 200 acres. And they'll throw the sticks back, they throw them back and forth. So I was sitting there with him one night, and he said, "Hey, Carter, I tell you what, do your best Sasquatch howl and then introduce yourself." I said, "Okay." So I did my best howl. That's in the eye of the beholder or the ear of the beholder, And so, and I said, "Hi, my name's Carter." 5 seconds later, in my exact voice, "Hi, my name is Carter." It could have been me. It was my exact, they mimic. You've heard that, right? They mimic. They can mimic anything: deer, owls, car engines, anything, animal, anything. They can mimic them. And I'm sitting there going, did I just hear this? I'm going, what? And they were all laughing at me. They're going, well, we just thought we'd pull one on you. Because that's what they do. They just sit, that's their Saturday night in the deep woods of Missouri when there's nothing else to do. They don't sit around and watch TV and stuff. They play with their Sasquatch friends. It's crazy. They've shown them their newborn.
Wow.
At this family. Every morning they get up and walk a quarter mile to their mailbox, which is at the gate of their property. And that gives the dog his exercise for the day. It's a big badass dog, and they keep him, pinned up for the most part because he's not real friendly, but he's very protective. So, and they walk up to the front, get his mail, and walk back. On one of these occasions, his wife went with him, and they stepped out from behind a tree, which they do often, and showed them a newborn. I don't know how old the newborn. It was the size of a regular chimp. They said it was probably about 3 foot tall, 2 or 3 foot tall, but it was a baby. They showed it to them. They trust them that much. They trust each other that way.
Wow, that's something.
So, and that's where I've spent most of my time the last 7, 8 years. I've written 5 books on the Sasquatch. And in 2004 is when I discovered I had been abducted. as a child, and that changed some things for me, you know, and and so I don't know where you want to go. Are we going to do the show on the abductions or Sasquatch or both or?
Well, my question to you is: have you ever seen anything demonic, any angels, anything like that in all of this?
No, I haven't. I have not seen anything demonic or evil in my life. And I've been out in the woods and I've been in a lot of haunted houses. I've got a lot of friends that have paranormal groups that go, do haunted houses and stuff like that. And no, I used to see the little grays in my house when I was 8, 7, 8. They would be walking down the hall from my parents' bedroom. Now I'm 8
Hmm.
and I'm on the top of my bunk bed, and I would see at all times, whenever I got up on top of my bunk bed, which is where I slept. My brother was downstairs, down below. Every now and then I would see these gray robots walking from my parents' bedroom, going down the hall, kind of like this, like they were going downstairs, like they're on an escalator. They were just they were doing this, but I'm looking. Well, there's no stairs. We live in a ranch house in Texas, so but I saw the grays, and I just thought, I told my mom, and she thought, well, you're just eating too much sugar before you go to bed. Quit eating crap before you go to bed. Did your mama
Yeah.
ever tell you that?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but I had seen other things and, but never put it together because I had no idea what had been going on.
Hmm.
So in 59, 58 or 9, my buddy and myself were racing our bikes in Dallas, Texas, in front of my house. We ran a stop sign, being stupid little kids, and hot summer day, July, Dallas, Texas, uh, and this car blew by us. We ran the stop sign. We could feel our shirts flapping in the wind
Oh, yeah.
and the
Hmm.
whole thing. We were just going, "Oh my God, how did that car miss us? How come that car didn't kill us?" I said, "Well, my mom's at home right across the street, and she saw us run the stop sign. She will kill us. So, if the car didn't get us, my mom will." So I told that story all my life until 2004. Stupid things kids do that almost get them killed but don't. I was in sales for 25 years. I was a real estate agent. So you go to, happy hours and stuff, and you're trying to, network and make friends and handshake and all that kind of crap. So you'd
Hmm.
say, oh, what'd you do? Well, I stuck my finger in a light socket. Well, I was cleaning my dad's pistol and it went off. I didn't know there was a bullet, and the bullet whizzed by my head. And well, we almost got run over by a car and blah, 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 blah. So that's
Yeah.
just, the conversation starters.
Hmm.
Well, 2004, my wife and I and another couple were sitting here at my house, and we were deciding, you know, I I think I've had a past life. We all believed we had past lives.
Hmm.
So we decided to find a regressionist. This was like a Friday night, and I pulled out a phone book. Yeah, 2004, we still had phone books. And I found a hypnotic regressionist.
Yeah,
And
man.
so I called her up. We made an appointment for the next day. She just happened to be free. And it wasn't more than 30 miles from our house. She was in Sibley, Missouri, which you probably don't know where that is, but it's 30 miles from Kansas City, downtown. Anyway, so we drive over and we're all going to get regressed. We go to her studio. It's a barn, and she had a big maze cut into the hay out on her property. Her and her husband were farmers, but she was into the metaphysical stuff. And so we got there. we picked our order. My wife went first. I went last. Steve and Nancy in between. They went second and third. And so my wife couldn't go under because that's control issues. Some people just cannot be hypnotized.
Hmm.
So control issues, childhood trauma and that kind of crap. So Nancy goes under. She had 2 lives. Pretty interesting, pretty cool. Steve, her new husband, he had 1 past life, and it was pretty cool, pretty interesting, and it all seemed legit.
Hmm.
And so then I go last, and it's my turn, and I'm there, and we're all watching each other on camera. It's all getting recorded on tape. I've got all my tapes, and I start stalling and fumbling and jockeying it around on my chair. Like, get away from me! Stop it! I was just acting like a stupid little kid.
Hmm.
Well, I started screaming and crying and get your hands off of me. And I said a lot of unpleasant words, the 4-letter kind you can't say. Get your
Yeah.
hands off of me. Leave me alone. What are you doing to my friend? I was freaking and sobbing uncontrollably. Of course, everybody there is going, what the heck are we watching? What's wrong with this guy? Did he do some drugs or something? And so I'm just beside myself. And so she gets me out of it finally. Well, that car that almost hit us was not a car. It was a spacecraft,
Oh.
and it flew right by us and took us both on the craft. And that's how I discovered in 2004. Now, I'm 74 right now.
Hmm.
So in 2004, I was 53, 54.
Yeah.
So for 60 some odd years, I told this story without any idea, about the car that almost hit us. I had no idea
Hmm.
that it was a spacecraft. It wouldn't have occurred to me at that age, you know.
Yeah. Well,
And
there's
so,
many sightings of these aliens and the spacecrafts, and yeah.
yeah, no, I've been regressed 8 times. It's a fascinating story. I don't know if you're familiar with any. Are you familiar with Dolores Cannon?
No. No.
She's one of the top. She passed away in 2010. She's 2014. Take that back. She was a premier hypnotic regressionist. If you heard of Bud Hopkins or John Mack, the college professor from Harvard, she was their equal, if not above them. She was just awesome. Well, I went
Hmm.
under with her twice, and I went under with 3 other ladies, a total of 8 times. The lady I went under with first was the lady I went under with last, just in July of last year. When that regression happened, we were like her fifth customer. She had no idea how to handle that situation
Oh.
because she was brand new to the business.
Hmm.
The first group uh, regression she does, she gets a kid who's been abducted by aliens and doesn't know it for 40 years, 50 years. It was
Hmm.
bizarre. But I ran into her. I do a lot of conferences, and I ran into her. And she was put in a booth right next to me, just out of happenstance. I went,
Hmm.
Toby, Carter? What? And so it was like we reintroduced ourselves. Oh, let me go back. The next day after I was found out I'd been regressed or
Hmm.
abducted, I woke up the next morning, went down to my office. I drew a beautiful reptilian. And I'm not an artist. I almost think it was automatic writing. Somebody else was guiding my hand because it was a beautiful drawing. I
Hmm.
scanned it, emailed it to Toby, the lady who regresses first, and she called me. She goes, you're going to have to get somebody else to help you. I am not qualified. I have no idea what to do. Because she was brand new. We were like her fifth customer ever. And it was like, well, I want to visit my doggy who died. I want to see my grandmother, that kind of traditional stuff. And I'm sitting there, talking like, a woman, man possessed. She was just beyond beside herself. So that's what got me on that journey. And it's just, most of my podcasts now are the abduction, and it has turned a lot of guys. I do 30 or 40 shows. A lot of guys won't talk about that because it creeps them out, and either they don't believe it or they don't know how to interview somebody who's been, because these are all cryptid guys and ladies, So that's my bio in a nutshell.
Wow, that was very good. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
It's
and so,
informative.
yeah, it's I don't know what we're going to do the show on, tomorrow, but both or either.
The show is going to be based on what we do tonight. Can you hear me, Carter?
Yeah, no.
Oh, good. All right, we're live now. So we're going to see if anybody's going to come on. So let me look in. We only got a few. Okay, Angel's saying hello. Are you still on the show, hon?
Huh?
That's my mom. Hi, Mom.
That's your mom?
Yeah, that's my mom. Yeah.
Hey.
My big.
Howdy, Carol.
Well, we'll see. We'll hang in. We'll see if anybody comes on, asks a question.
Yeah.
What I'm seeing that's happened a lot. A lot of people are starting to watch it after the show was over. They probably can't make the Wednesday night, a lot of people. But it'll build.
Yeah.
But that was a great story. That was interesting. I enjoyed that. Really, we talked an hour. Did you realize that?
Yeah, I was thinking we were supposed to do 30 minutes, and it was just turned into an hour. But I'm a talker. Once I get going, because my work excites me.
My mother says, could you show us some pictures, Carter?
Well, I hardly know you, man, but I'll show you some pictures. I have a couple of favorite pictures of. I'm going to show you. Now, this is one of my favorite photos, and this is from a habituation site. You see what that is? It's a juvenile Sasquatch. And what it is doing see the hand and the what this is from is I have a family in Missouri, and they grow produce, vegetables and fruit for farmers markets. They have those huts I showed you are Quonset huts. They're the big arched buildings like you used to see on military bases, Quonset huts, and they just got metal frames and they stretch plastic over it, and they grow the fruits and vegetables inside the grow house. So now what they do to protect the food in the winter, they have propane heaters in between. They have like 4 or 5 huts, and they have propane heaters in between each of the huts. I know that guy.
Yeah, I got to send that to Angela. I just wanted to show her that I got the pictures done.
Oh, cool.
Not bad,
cool.
right?
Yeah. Pretty
Yeah,
handsome
I
stud
signed them and
there.
I send them out. Huh?
Yeah, pretty handsome stud there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Who is that? That you?
Yeah, that was me. That was me.
Yeah. So anyhow, they have these heaters that they put in between the huts, and then they have piping that goes out from the heaters and goes into the huts and keeps the fruits and vegetables from freezing in the winter. So you get all this condensation on the inside of the hut. So that picture I just showed you, if you look at it again, two eyes, a nose, a mouth, hair. So this juvenile was a lookout. And so what they do is they put their faces up against the plastic to see if the humans are coming, because they're going in there and stealing the fruits and vegetables is what they're doing. It beats going out in the forest and chasing down a deer or looking for, plants to eat. So they had been stealing. Well, they got kind of tired of that. And so they put up motion lights so they would know when the Sasquatch was near. Now they live on their property. The Sasquatch live on their property. They come down from the woods. They watch them work. I just got a call from a guy a couple of weeks ago about something that happened. It was very funny. But I get calls, usually once a month on average, of something. Hey, Carter, you got to hear this. This has happened, so and so and so. And these people are living with these beings on their property, and they're interacting and seeing and hearing all kinds of things. So anyway, they're used to the Sasquatch. They watch them work around the house. They're working, cutting wood, mowing the yard, taking care of the animals. And they'll see the Sasquatch every now and then, just peeking from behind a tree, watching them work, and just living their daily life. And so, but they put the motion lights up so they could get a warning when somebody was going over there and stealing fruit, vegetables. So one night, the lights go on, the alarm goes off. There's somebody in or near the grow house. So my guy, he's about 23 or 4. He kind of runs the whole operation for the family. He's the kid, and mom and dad it's all family operation, but he kind of runs the growing thing. So anyhow, he grabs his phone for light. He starts running out there, and he can see the light on in the distance. He hears screaming coming from the woods on the right as he's running out there. Sasquatch screaming. As he gets closer, he's screaming from the left side of the woods. More Sasquatch screaming. This is the good part. When he gets to the grow house, he's screaming from inside. This juvenile Sasquatch realized he's caught and he's getting ready to run. Kyle gets to the door, opens it, and the Sasquatch runs right by him. They brush up against each other. They could have kissed. They touched. It ran right by him, and just he's freaking out because and there's probably his parents or the other family members or the clan members warning him, "Hey, dummy, the humans are coming after you. You better get your butt out of there." Yeah, but he was too busy eating, So but it ran by him and touched him. Who can tell you that? Who can make that up? Who has that happen?
Mm-hmm.
And he just told it kind of like a matter of fact thing, because this is the, well, I'll finish my story. So he runs out and he's gone. Now I have 6 or 7 other photos like that, but not near as good. But there's 3 or 4 heads in one little spot of about 3 feet. So there's like 3 or 4 of the juvenile, really young ones up there looking out, and it's almost comical because they're putting their heads up and they're not realizing they're making these face prints. That is a really good face print. If you saw it in this book, it is a great photo of
that is pretty good.
a Sasquatch. I mean,
Yeah.
you can see the hair follicles coming out of the head. You can see the eyes. You can see all the feet. Everything's there. No, it's not clear like you're standing there 5 feet from it. You got a phone and take a picture, but it's an awesome photo during a hectic situation. So that story is just, it's mind blowing, and he called me, he messaged me about 10 days, 2 weeks ago. And he was cutting firewood. They burned up all their firewood for the year. Obviously, winter's over, so spring's coming up. So now they're getting ready to cut wood so they'll have a supply for next year. So he's going out into the woods, and there's this big old area where, a lot of fallen trees. And so he was, cutting woods, and he looks underneath one of these trunks, and he reaches down, and there's like 7 or 8 empty peanut butter jars. This is what they feed the Sasquatch. The Sasquatch love human food. They love peanut butter. So they leave out jars of peanut butter.
Everybody loves peanut butter.
Oh, yeah. Who does? Crunchy or smooth?
I like smooth.
I don't know, whatever. But he found their stash because they gift them the food. All my people, all my witnesses, gifting food. Human food is one of the biggest treats for the Sasquatch. You just don't want to make it too good, because then they get really irritated when you stop or slow down. They start banging on the house. Hey, where's my food? Where's that rotisserie chicken? That was some good stuff. I want more of that. Bring it. So, but he found 6 or 7 peanut butter jars with the lids on them, completely empty. They stashed them under this trunk where I know they knew that's where he cuts his wood, is this particular area. So, but he calls me up. It's just another thing that happens, a day in the life.
Yeah.
He was, so these people are sharing these like completely spontaneous and intimate moments that they're having with the Sasquatch, and like I say, sometimes they happen so often. Like I don't talk to the people, maybe 2 or 3 times a year, maybe on the phone. And they'll call me and they'll start talking about, well, what have you been doing? Well, I've been, doing some research and this, that, and the other. I said, what have you guys been doing? Well, we, got a new truck. I bought the wife a new truck. She wanted a truck, so I got a truck. Went and got a haircut last week, and I bought a new blade for my tractor so I can plow the snow. And
simple life. Huh?
I saw a Sasquatch family the other day up by the shop. No. Well, yeah, we saw another Sasquatch family, but just kind of like always, My point is, they see them so regularly, and we talk so irregularly, they'll forget, because it's such a routine in their life. Bobby gets up, he combs his hair. He's got beautiful hair. I don't have any hair. I'm very jealous of her, by the way. But you get up, you brush your teeth, you comb your hair, you do your thing, you have a coffee, you go breakfast, you go do your errands, and oh yeah, I saw a Sasquatch. Well, you think nothing of it, because you're going to see one tomorrow, or maybe.
Look at this. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Or maybe the next day.
Yeah.
And so it's not that unique to you who is experiencing it every day, week, month, year. however often you want to interact with each other, that's how often you can interact. So that's their life. And they just forget to tell me things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they would forget to tell you a lot of things because, it's, you know, do you know what you did 5 days ago at 3 o'clock on a Tuesday, Bobby? You know what you did?
No,
Well,
absolutely
see,
not.
me neither.
I know it's just an everyday occurrence for them.
Yeah. And so,
Yeah.
but everyday
Yeah.
occurrence for some people is going to brush your teeth, go to Taco Bell, go to Walmart, you know, get your car
Yeah.
washed, get the oil changed, and see a Sasquatch and interact with them. And it's just, you don't remember things you do. I don't remember the things I do because I know I'm going to
Right.
do them again. And it's not a big thing. And so the people that I have about 12 properties, 6 or 7 of them are really prolific. And they call, they really want the help. They want the information out because these people want to tell everybody what it's like and that this is real. And if you don't believe us, shove it. Because this is real. This is our daily, weekly, monthly, yearly life. We see them and they see us. They interact with us. We interact with them however often or infrequently we want. And there's no anger. There's no nothing. This is, hey, I saw the Sasquatch out there. I was mowing the yard. Anyway, it's just a sameness to it.
Yeah.
They're used to it, you know. And in all my books, all the locations are top secret. I don't give out any, logistics at all. All the geodata is taken off the photos before they go in the books. You can't read it off the paper anyway, but I take all of that off. I don't tell anybody where they live or anything because it's not important. It's what's going on and who it's going on with. That's all that matters, you know, because there's crazy people out there with a gun. Somebody paid good money for a Sasquatch body, and they may not care what
probably
they do.
right. Yeah.
And they may not care what they do to get it. There are people like that.
Oh, I know. Look at what Constantine said. Hi, Bobby. Great show tonight. Look at that, huh?
Well, we're done. Okay, let's click. Just turn it off. Let's go home. It's good. I'm ready for dinner.
No, we're not done yet. All right, Angie. What's my favorite football team? Well, in the 90s, it was San Fran. But today it's the Pats. My mother says thank you. All right, let's see what else we got here. Yeah, Angie, I got the picture inside the envelope. I got it all made out. I just got to go to the post office. Very handsome. Thank you, my friend. So what do you want to show? What do you got
Are
there?
they talking to me or you?
I don't know.
Well, I just thought I'd try to, see.
Yeah, you took a shot.
Call
That's
me
all
handsome
right.
lately, ever. So my wife does, and she goes, "Hey, you, where's my dinner?" So look at this.
Yeah, that's a nice picture.
It's actually 2 pictures.
I see it. Yeah.
Okay, do you see what time it is? On that military time, it's 3:12.
Yeah.
And 36 seconds.
Yep.
You see the shadow. You see the tree down, the horizontal tree that's fallen and down. You see all the trees standing up nice and pretty in the background, nice and straight. And it is 3:12 and 36 seconds. Same location. 3:12, 40 seconds. The trees, first the shadow has changed because the creature bumped the camera and changed the lighting because it's no longer where it was. You see the trees in the background look like they're blowing in the wind. There's no wind that day. It bumped the camera. it tripped the camera 4 seconds after the preacher man tripped the camera. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 seconds.
Yeah.
That creature, he was out.
Those are good pictures.
He was out checking cameras for the SD cards, batteries. They have about 32 cameras on this hunting property. It's about 21 acres. There's a shed on there, but nobody lives on the property. So the Sasquatch kind of come and go and do whatever they want. You know, they use it for hunting. 4 seconds after he tripped the camera, because he was headed for the cameras, the Sasquatch appeared out of nowhere. He didn't see it. He didn't smell it. He didn't hear it or sense it. It just, we think it just appeared out of a portal or another dimension. It just flat out, it could have been cloaked and just invisible and standing there the whole time. We won't know that.
We got about 10 minutes left. Does anybody have any questions they'd like to ask? No.
What's my favorite football team?
What is your favorite football?
I live in Kansas City. Guess who my favorite team is?
KC, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm from Dallas originally, so I was a Cowboy fan for a long time. Well, that's gone by the wayside because there's
I'm going to tell you, with Rice and San Fran, I made a lot of money with San Fran. I love that team. Yeah. That was in the 90s. Now, I went away, and for a while, I was gone.
Yeah, I get it.
I come back, and of course, I'm a Bostonian. I love the Pats. That's it.
Yeah.
I'll always love the team.
Yeah, I'll always love the Cowboys. I have my memories. When I was growing up, football was like not that popular.
Yeah.
So you could.
Did you see what?
Yeah. Have you been face to face with the Sasquatch? No, I have not. Not to my knowledge. I've seen some shadows and things in the night. A lot of my work is at night, of course. So there's shadows and silhouettes. I know I'm looking at Sasquatch that are backlit by the moon. They're standing on a hill in the forest and they're looking at us. They're watching us. But I've never had a face to face. I wish I had. But no, I haven't. So,
no question.
Now, they come to me in my dreams. It's not really dreams. I'm meditating. They come to me, and I just went over this with somebody today. They will come and show me where they live. They show me their families. They show them playing, chasing mice and moles with sticks and insects poking in the ground, trying to dig up stuff. And they dig up a mole or a mouse and just pop in their mouth, keep going. They show me a day in the life. So that's my interaction with them. But I have not, as researchers go, I'm not one to take cameras, shots, and photos because that's a great way to run them off. They fear cameras. They hate cameras. Everybody knows that. And just like the Native Americans grew up hating cameras because they felt like the camera stole your soul. When the cavalry, the army, started taking pictures of the Native Americans when they were Constantine, how long have you been having the dreams? Since 2019. Well, I led that expedition in Illinois, 2019. That's when I was shown the fact that they know where I live, which is, we don't have time to go into it now. But I'll give you my email address, sqexplorer@gmail.com. SQ, as in Sasquatch, sqexplorer@gmail.com. I'm self-published. You can buy my books through me, through my email. I'm self-published. I do everything. I do all the printing, publishing, all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So kind of save money. So, but if you got questions, email me and I will answer questions. I love talking to people, because we're running out of time already.
Yeah, we are. It's getting close.
Yeah.
It's getting
So,
close.
so if you want to get a hold of me to buy my books or ask questions about anything you've heard about my abduction or the Sasquatch stories, I've been researching them for 15 years now. It keeps getting better. It keeps giving. It's the gift that keeps giving.
So what is your email? I'm going to type it in here so it's on the comments.
Yeah. SQ
SQ.
Explorer at gmail.com.
Oh. All right. Check. Make sure that's right. It's going up now. See it? You see the comments?
There it is. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. That's it? All right, good.
Who's that handsome stud in the background there?
That's good.
No, but it's,
Well, let's see. We got a few minutes left. And we got some comments tonight. That was good. I'm going to leave this up till the show's over. Just so if anybody wants it, they can get in touch with you.
Yeah.
They may be interested in your books.
Yeah.
Because after this, believe me, when it goes to a regular film, you know how this works. There'll be a lot of people watching this.
Yeah. Well, send me a link so I can put it on my Facebook page. And I'll blast everybody. You're going to send me a link for this show, right?
Yeah, I could do that.
The intro and all that, the AI and all that. Yeah. Send that because I'll share the heck out of it. I've got 5,000 followers. I'll help. I'll try to help you out on the put you on the map a little bit. But
all right, good.
The belief that these beings are just dumb apes is so far from the truth. It's just not even funny. And that's probably why I don't have a lot of face-to-face, because I've already had my encounters with him on a paranormal, metaphysical, quantum level. So I don't need to see one. I mean, my witnesses, my families, my habituation families have all kinds of photos and stuff, and like the stuff I just showed you. It comes to me. I don't have to go out and seek it, because all my people, they want to share what's going on, because for every person that I've gotten my books, there's 100 or 200 or 300 that are having the same relationship, same experiences. And they don't say a word to anybody for fear of ridicule and mockery. And if you ever told anybody you saw a UFO or a ghost or a Loch Ness monster and they just ridicule the heck out of it, you know what that's all about. When it's near and dear to your heart and people are mocking you and laughing at you, you don't like it. It hurts. So they want to get the word out. They want to share it. But that's why all the locations and the names are anonymous, because that's not important. It's what's going on and who's involved. That's it. You don't need names. You don't need locations. So that's why I do what I do. It never stops. It keeps, people keep calling me with data. It's awesome.
Yeah.
The books write themselves.
The
experiences. People are sharing things with me. They're just, it's incredible.
Yeah.
The people trust me and I trust them,
All right. So look, Mom says good night to everybody. God bless, Ma. And Constantine wants to know, Bobby, how's the pizza in Boston? It's amazing up here. Believe me. They say New York, Chicago. I've been there. I love Boston pizza, especially bakery pizza. Delicious.
I see some pretty nasty looking pizza coming out of the Boston, Philly area. People are showing me photos. I'm going, oh my God, that looks like that pizza looks like it's 3 feet thick.
Mm-hmm.
You get
So
coronary just looking at it, you know.
Yeah, but it's good. All right, listen, I have to thank you for coming on, Carter. That was a good show. I really enjoyed being with you, talking with you, and we probably could do this again sometime.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it'd be
Yeah.
good.
If you we could do the abduction thing. That's a whole show in and of itself right there. If you want to do one. Like that.
Yeah. I got a lot of people right now wanting to be on. So as soon as that I get through there, I'll definitely be in touch with you again.
Okay. Well,
I
send me a
enjoyed it.
link, and I'll share the heck out of this, and I'll send a link to Lon, you know, and all of that. And
All right. As soon as we get off, I'll send you the link. I'll go up to YouTube.
okay.
Well, listen, I want to thank you again for coming on, brother.
Appreciate it, Bobby. It's fun. It's good to meet you and all that. This is great.
Same here, my friend. And hopefully I'll see you soon.
Well,
So-
I want to see you again because I'm hoping maybe one of your hairs will fall on the top of my head. And take me.
That's not going to happen.
Oh,
My grandfather
crap.
passed away, 92 years
Well,
old.
dang it.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. I know.
All right, brother. I'm going to sign off.
All
God
right.
bless.
Good night,
Thank you,
everybody.
God. Good
Thanks.
night.